Welcome, dear friends. Today, let's focus on a path of empowerment, a way forward that honors our well-being and respects our spirit. Life is precious, and there will be moments when we encounter people who do not respect us. Perhaps they're dismissive, belittling, or even harsh. It can be challenging, and yet we always have the choice to respond in ways that protect our peace. Here are 8 loving, powerful ways to handle these experiences. Self-worth is the quiet, steady recognition that you are valuable, capable, and deserving of respect and love, regardless of any external validation or criticism. It's an internal sense of worthiness that doesn't rely on the opinions of others or fluctuate based on circumstances. Instead, it comes from a deep, enduring understanding of who you are, beyond your roles, achievements, or the labels others may try to place on you. Developing self-worth is not about building a shield of arrogance, but about fostering a genuine and humble confidence that you are enough just as you are. To truly know your self-worth, it helps to look within and explore what you value most about yourself. This journey often requires stepping away from society's definitions of success and focusing on the qualities that make you feel proud and content from within. Take a moment to consider your strengths, your resilience, and the unique contributions you bring to the world. Every life experience, challenge, or triumph adds to your essence, and recognizing this can form the basis of authentic self-worth. When you can honor these parts of yourself, you tap into a place of strength that remains solid, even during times when others may not see or acknowledge it. Cultivating self-worth also involves letting go of the habit of comparing yourself to others. In a world filled with endless opportunities for comparison, social media, work, relationships, it can be all too easy to measure yourself against others' accomplishments or appearances. But comparison can erode your sense of self and leave you feeling either inadequate or overly competitive. Your journey is unique, and no two people are meant to walk the same path. When you recognize this, it becomes easier to release the urge to compare. Instead, focus on your growth, your progress, and how far you've come on your path. By honoring your individuality, you strengthen your self-worth. Self-worth is closely tied to self-acceptance. It's about being able to look at yourself, flaws and all, and still see a person worthy of love and respect. This doesn't mean you ignore areas where you want to improve, but rather that you approach these areas with compassion rather than harsh judgment. Accepting yourself fully means embracing your imperfections and understanding that they are a part of being human. When you can accept yourself as you are, it's easier to forgive your mistakes and see them as learning experiences. This acceptance becomes a powerful source of resilience, as it allows you to face challenges without doubting your own value. Boundaries are essential in preserving self-worth. Setting boundaries means honoring your needs and limitations and being willing to communicate them to others. This can be challenging, especially if you've been taught to prioritize others' feelings over your own. However, by setting boundaries, you affirm your right to protect your well-being. Boundaries don't mean pushing people away. Rather, they help define how you want to be treated and what is acceptable to you. When you establish and maintain boundaries, you reinforce your self-worth by showing that you respect yourself enough to protect your mental and emotional health. Affirming your worth through positive self-talk is another vital practice. The way you speak to yourself has a profound impact on your self-image and confidence. Take time each day to remind yourself of your strengths, achievements, and unique qualities. Simple affirmations like "I am deserving of respect" or "I am enough" can shift your mindset from self-doubt to self-empowerment. Over time, these affirmations can help rewrite any negative beliefs you may have about yourself. When you actively cultivate a positive inner dialogue, you reinforce your self-worth in a way that no external validation could achieve. Letting go of the need for approval from others is another significant aspect of embracing self-worth. Seeking validation from others can become a habit that ultimately leaves you feeling empty and dependent on their opinions. Instead, practice listening to your own inner guidance. Ask yourself if you're making choices that feel authentic to you, rather than ones designed to impress others or win their approval. When you learn to trust your own judgment and act in alignment with your values, you create a sense of inner peace that doesn't waver, even in the face of criticism or disapproval. Finally, self-worth is about embracing the idea that you deserve joy, success, and love simply because you exist. It's not contingent on accomplishments or what you can do for others. You deserve happiness not because you've earned it, but because it's a part of being alive. This belief allows you to pursue your dreams and desires without feeling unworthy or doubting whether you're good enough. When you know your self-worth, you give yourself permission to take up space, to ask for what you need, and to live a life that honors your deepest desires. Self-worth is a journey of self-discovery and acceptance. It's about learning to value yourself, regardless of what others think, and recognizing that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. It's not something you achieve once and then forget, but a lifelong practice of nurturing your inner sense of worth. Embrace it wholeheartedly, and let it be the foundation upon which you build a life of purpose, joy, and authentic connection. Establishing clear boundaries is an essential part of maintaining personal well-being, fostering healthy relationships, and protecting your peace of mind. Boundaries are limits you set for yourself and others about how you wish to be treated, what you find acceptable, and where your comfort lies. Boundaries empower you to communicate your needs and values clearly, helping others understand what is and isn't acceptable in their interactions with you. These boundaries are not about controlling or distancing people, but rather creating a balanced space where mutual respect can thrive. By setting healthy limits, you respect yourself and encourage others to respect you in return. One of the key aspects of establishing boundaries is knowing what you stand for. This means understanding your values, preferences, and emotional needs so that you can create boundaries that reflect who you are and what is meaningful to you. For example, if personal space is important to you, you may establish boundaries around how often and under what conditions you feel comfortable with close interactions. Knowing what matters most to you gives you a solid foundation upon which to base your boundaries. This self-awareness also helps you recognize when boundaries are being tested or crossed. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're used to putting others' needs ahead of your own. Many people feel uncomfortable with boundaries because they worry it will cause tension, conflict, or even disappointment in their relationships. However, boundaries are essential for creating relationships that are healthy, balanced, and respectful. When you prioritize others' comfort over your well-being, you may end up feeling drained or even resentful. Setting boundaries may feel uncomfortable at first, but it ultimately nurtures your relationships because it ensures that you are not sacrificing your needs or values for others. Communication is key to establishing and maintaining boundaries. It's important to express your boundaries clearly without assuming that others will just know what you need. Many people avoid talking about boundaries because they're afraid of how the other person will react. However, boundaries that aren't communicated often lead to misunderstandings and resentment. When expressing your boundaries, be kind but firm. You don't have to be defensive or aggressive. Simple and direct language can go a long way. For example, you might say, "I'm not available for work calls after 6 p.m. As it's my family time." By being direct, you minimize confusion and set the expectation in a clear, positive manner. Setting boundaries is not just about what you don't want, it's also about creating space for what you do want. Boundaries protect your time, energy, and emotional resources so that you have the freedom to pursue the things that matter to you. When you set boundaries, you're actually making space for your own growth, hobbies, relationships, and self-care. For example, by setting a boundary around your work hours, you give yourself the time and energy to engage in activities that recharge you. In this way, boundaries serve as a form of self-care that allows you to live a fuller, more balanced life. Enforcing boundaries can sometimes be difficult, especially if people around you are used to a certain pattern of behavior. People may push back, ignore, or test your boundaries. When this happens, it's crucial to stand firm in your boundaries without feeling guilty or second-guessing yourself. You have every right to protect your well-being, even if others don't initially understand or accept your boundaries. Over time, those who truly respect and care for you will come to respect the boundaries you have set. Remember, setting a boundary is not a rejection of someone else, it's a way to honor both yourself and the relationship by fostering mutual respect. Another important aspect of boundaries is learning to say no. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others, or they want to avoid conflict. However, learning to say no is an act of self-respect. It allows you to control how you spend your time and energy rather than overextending yourself. Saying no can be as simple as stating, "I'm sorry, I can't take this on right now." It's a straightforward way of letting others know that you value your own needs without being dismissive or unkind. Boundaries require consistency to be effective. If you set a boundary but don't consistently enforce it, others may assume that your boundary is flexible or unimportant. For example, if you tell someone you're unavailable after a certain time but often make exceptions, you're sending mixed messages that can weaken the boundary. While it's natural to make occasional exceptions, consistent enforcement is key to maintaining respect and clarity around your boundaries. By standing firm, you help others understand that these boundaries are an important part of your well-being and are not open to negotiation. Ultimately, boundaries are a way of showing respect for yourself and inviting others to do the same. By establishing and upholding boundaries, you're sending a powerful message that you value yourself and are willing to protect your peace. This self-respect, in turn, encourages others to respect you as well. Over time, you'll notice that relationships with healthy boundaries tend to be more fulfilling, balanced, and supportive. People who truly care for you will appreciate the clarity and respect that boundaries bring, while those who don't may fall away naturally. Setting boundaries is an ongoing process. As you grow and change, so will your needs and preferences. Take time to revisit and adjust your boundaries as needed to reflect where you are in life. Boundaries are a form of self-respect that empowers you to live authentically, foster healthy relationships, and maintain a sense of inner peace. When you create boundaries with kindness, clarity, and consistency, you lay the foundation for a life that respects both yourself and the people around you. Letting go of approval seeking is a powerful step toward personal freedom and self-empowerment. It's a shift from relying on the opinions of others to validate your worth to finding a sense of value within yourself. When we let go of approval seeking, we reclaim the ability to make choices that align with our values and desires rather than constantly striving to meet others' expectations. Approval seeking is often deeply ingrained, arising from a desire to be accepted, liked, or validated. But this constant search for external validation can be exhausting, leaving you feeling anxious, conflicted, or unfulfilled. Releasing the need for approval is a journey towards self-acceptance, where you can find peace in knowing that your worth doesn't depend on external opinions. Approval seeking often stems from a fear of rejection or a desire to fit in. It's a behavior we adopt early in life, learning that approval from parents, teachers, or peers often brings a sense of belonging or acceptance. This is a natural part of growing up, as approval can guide us in understanding social norms and acceptable behavior. However, if we remain stuck in the need for approval as adults, it can prevent us from living authentically and pursuing what truly resonates with us. Constantly seeking approval limits our ability to express our unique perspectives, goals, and dreams. It causes us to make decisions that may not align with our true selves, all for the sake of pleasing others. Letting go of approval seeking requires a commitment to self-reflection. Ask yourself where the desire for approval originates. A crucial part of releasing approval seeking is learning when you have compromised your values or desires to gain someone else's acceptance. Believing that you are capable of making decisions without needing others to validate them. May be holding you back. This doesn't mean you disregard feedback or ignore others' opinions altogether. Rather, it means giving yourself the final say in what feels right for you. Giving others so much influence over your choices. When you rely on your own judgment, you start making choices that align with your values and desires, not those dictated by someone else. Bringing awareness to the ways approval seeking impacts your life. This shift in perspective builds self-confidence and reduces the anxiety that often comes from wondering what others think of your choices. Self-acceptance plays a significant role in letting go of approval seeking. It's the understanding that you are enough as you are and that your worth doesn't depend on others' approval. Practicing self-compassion helps in this journey. It allows you to embrace your imperfections and mistakes without harsh judgment. When you accept yourself fully, you become less concerned with gaining others' approval because you already feel whole. Self-acceptance isn't about ignoring boundaries. Is another essential part of humanity and understanding that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of respect and love. Boundaries communicate your needs and priorities to others and help prevent situations where you feel pressured to act against your values. When you set and maintain boundaries, you're affirming your right to live according to your standards, not those of others. Boundaries give you the space to be yourself and protect you from feeling overwhelmed by the expectations others may place upon you. In this way, boundaries empower you to honor your needs, even if it means others may not always approve or agree with your choices. Letting go of approval seeking also involves becoming comfortable with discomfort. When you stop seeking approval, you may face criticism or judgment from others. This can be challenging as approval seeking often provides a sense of security by reducing conflict. However, by allowing yourself to experience this discomfort, you build resilience and learn to prioritize your values over others' opinions. This resilience allows you to stay true to yourself even when it's uncomfortable, because you trust in your choices and are less dependent on external validation. Over time, you'll find that the discomfort fades, replaced by a sense of inner peace and self-assurance. Another helpful approach to letting go of approval seeking is reframing how you view others' opinions. Instead of seeing approval as a measure of your worth, view feedback as information you can choose to consider or disregard. Not every opinion is a reflection of truth, and often people's opinions are influenced by their own perspectives, biases, and insecurities. When you let go of the need for approval, you stop interpreting others' opinions as absolute and start seeing them as perspectives that may or may not align with your truth. This shift allows you to maintain control over how you perceive yourself, regardless of what others may think. Lastly, letting go of approval seeking opens up space for authentic relationships. When you no longer shape your personality or decisions around others' expectations, you allow yourself to show up as you truly are. This authenticity attracts people who appreciate you for who you are rather than who you try to be for their sake. These genuine connections bring more fulfillment and depth to your relationships because they are based on mutual respect and acceptance. It's about freeing yourself from the constraints of others' expectations and stepping into a life where your choices, values, and self-worth are defined by you alone. Meaningful connections that are rooted in authenticity. This shift requires patience, self-compassion, and courage, but the reward is a sense of inner peace and confidence that no one can take away. Embracing your own approval as the most valuable validation brings a profound sense of freedom, empowering you to live a life that is true to your heart and reflective of who you truly are. Compassion is a powerful and transformative force, one that allows us to connect deeply with others and ourselves. It encompasses empathy, understanding, and kindness, enabling us to feel what others feel and respond with genuine care. However, using compassion wisely requires a conscious effort to strike a balance between being compassionate toward others and maintaining compassion for ourselves. While compassion can heal and foster connection, it is essential to remember that it should not come at the expense of our own well-being or lead to self-neglect. This is where the concept of using compassion wisely becomes crucial. Understanding compassion begins with recognizing its significance in our lives. It is more than just feeling sorry for someone or offering superficial support. It is about deeply connecting with another's experience and wishing to alleviate their suffering. Compassion motivates us to act and offer help, creating a ripple effect of kindness in our communities. However, when we extend compassion outward, we can sometimes forget to direct that same kindness inward. This oversight can lead to burnout, resentment, or even feelings of inadequacy. Therefore, learning to use compassion wisely is a critical skill that nurtures not only our relationships, but also our relationship with ourselves. To use compassion wisely, it is vital first to cultivate self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding we would offer a dear friend. It means recognizing our struggles and vulnerabilities without judgment and allowing ourselves to feel our emotions fully. When we practice self-compassion, we develop a healthier relationship with ourselves, which in turn enables us to be more compassionate toward others. This balance is essential because when we are kinder to ourselves, we can extend that same warmth and empathy to those around us without feeling depleted or overwhelmed. One way to cultivate self-compassion is through mindfulness. Mindfulness encourages us to be present with our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we become aware of our emotional state and can observe our reactions without becoming entangled in them. This awareness allows us to acknowledge our pain and struggles while also creating space for healing and understanding. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily routine, we develop a more compassionate approach to ourselves, which ultimately enriches our interactions with others. In addition to self-compassion, setting healthy boundaries is crucial for using compassion wisely. Compassionate people often find it challenging to say no, fearing they will disappoint others or appear unkind. However, failing to set boundaries can lead to emotional exhaustion and resentment. When we overextend ourselves in the name of compassion, we risk losing touch with our own needs and values. Establishing boundaries allows us to honor our well-being while still being there for others. It's essential to recognize that setting boundaries is not a lack of compassion. Instead, it is a necessary practice to ensure that we can offer our support without depleting our energy. Using compassion wisely also involves recognizing when our compassion may enable unhealthy behaviors. For example, if we continually provide support to someone who refuses to take responsibility for their actions, we might inadvertently perpetuate a cycle of dependency or entitlement. While it's essential to be compassionate and offer support, we must also encourage accountability and growth. This doesn't mean withdrawing our compassion, rather, it means finding a balance between being supportive and promoting personal responsibility. This approach not only helps the person we care about, but also protects our emotional health. Additionally, using compassion wisely requires us to practice discernment. Not every situation demands our immediate compassion, and it's essential to evaluate where our energy is best spent. Sometimes stepping back and assessing whether our compassion will truly benefit someone or whether it may lead to emotional strain is necessary. This discernment helps us prioritize our energy and resources, ensuring that we can provide meaningful support where it's genuinely needed. By practicing discernment, we can respond to others with compassion without feeling obligated to engage in every situation. As we navigate the complexities of compassion, it's also essential to remember that compassion is not synonymous with solving others' problems. While it's natural to want to alleviate someone's suffering, stepping in too quickly can prevent them from experiencing their own growth and resilience. True compassion involves being present and offering support without taking over or trying to fix the situation. This approach allows individuals to learn from their experiences and fosters a sense of empowerment. It's about creating a safe space where they can explore their feelings and find their path toward healing. Moreover, practicing gratitude can enhance our capacity to use compassion wisely. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. This shift in perspective allows us to appreciate our own strengths and resources, which in turn empowers us to extend compassion to others. By recognizing the blessings in our lives, we become more attuned to the struggles of those around us and feel a deeper sense of connection and empathy. Gratitude helps us to see the beauty in human experience, encouraging us to act with kindness and understanding. Finally, it's important to remember that using compassion wisely is an ongoing process. Life will continually present us with new challenges and situations that test our ability to be compassionate. As we grow and evolve, so will our understanding of how to practice compassion effectively. Embracing this journey with an open heart and a willingness to learn allows us to refine our approach to compassion over time. It is a skill that can be nurtured and developed, bringing immense joy and fulfillment to our lives and the lives of those around us. In conclusion, using compassion wisely is a delicate balance between caring for others and honoring ourselves. By cultivating self-compassion, setting boundaries, practicing discernment, and promoting personal responsibility, we can create a harmonious relationship with compassion. When we approach compassion with mindfulness and gratitude, we enrich our connections with others while nurturing our own well-being. This approach not only enhances our ability to be there for others, but also fosters a deep sense of fulfillment within ourselves. Ultimately, using compassion wisely transforms not only our lives, but also the lives of those we touch, creating a ripple effect of kindness and understanding in the world. Embracing silence and forgiveness is a profound practice that can lead to inner peace, clarity, and healing. In our fast-paced world, where noise and distractions are prevalent, finding moments of silence can seem challenging. However, silence offers us an opportunity to reflect, recharge, and reconnect with ourselves. It is within this stillness that we can find the space to cultivate forgiveness, both for ourselves and others. Forgiveness is not just an act of releasing grievances, it is a transformative process that frees us from the burdens of resentment and anger. By embracing silence and forgiveness, we can create a pathway to emotional and spiritual liberation. Silence is often misunderstood. It is not merely the absence of sound, it is a state of being that invites introspection and contemplation. In silence, we can hear our thoughts more clearly and connect with our inner selves. This connection is essential for personal growth and understanding. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we create a safe space for our feelings to surface. Often we are so caught up in the noise of everyday life that we suppress our emotions, burying them under the weight of our busy schedules. By embracing silence, we allow ourselves to confront these feelings, which can lead to greater emotional clarity. In moments of silence, we can also tune into our intuition. This inner voice often speaks to us in subtle ways, guiding us toward the right decisions and paths in our lives. However, when we are constantly bombarded by external noise and distractions, we may struggle to hear this voice. Silence provides the opportunity to listen, reflect, and gain insights that can be invaluable in our journey. By creating moments of quiet in our lives, we cultivate a deeper connection with ourselves and strengthen our ability to navigate life's challenges. Moreover, silence fosters mindfulness, a practice that encourages us to be fully present in the moment. In a world where we are often multitasking and rushing from one task to another, mindfulness reminds us to slow down and appreciate the here and now. Embracing silence allows us to engage in mindful breathing, meditation, or simply observing our surroundings. These practices not only reduce stress and anxiety, but also enhance our overall well-being. As we become more mindful, we cultivate a greater appreciation for the beauty of life, allowing us to experience joy even in the simplest moments. Alongside silence, the practice of forgiveness is equally transformative. Forgiveness is often misconstrued as condoning or excusing someone's behavior. However, true forgiveness is about releasing the hold that anger, resentment, and hurt have over us. It is a conscious decision to let go of negative emotions and create space for healing and growth. When we hold on to grudges, we remain tethered to the past, allowing those painful experiences to dictate our present and future. Forgiveness liberates us from this cycle, empowering us to move forward with grace and compassion. Embracing forgiveness starts with acknowledging our feelings. It is essential to recognize the hurt we have experienced and give ourselves permission to feel those emotions. This process often requires us to sit with discomfort, reflecting on the impact of the hurt. In moments of silence, we can explore these feelings without judgment, allowing them to surface and be processed. This self-reflection is a critical step in the forgiveness journey, as it enables us to understand our pain and articulate it in a healthy way. Once we have acknowledged our emotions, we can begin to shift our perspective. Forgiveness does not mean we forget what happened or dismiss the impact it had on our lives. Instead, it means choosing to release the negative energy associated with the experience. This shift often involves cultivating empathy for the person who hurt us. Recognizing that everyone has their struggles and imperfections can help us see the situation from a more compassionate viewpoint. By embracing empathy, we can soften the grip of anger and resentment, making space for forgiveness to flourish. Another critical aspect of forgiveness is understanding that it is a process, not a one-time event. It often requires patience and repetition. There may be moments when we feel ready to forgive, only to find ourselves revisiting old emotions. This is a natural part of the journey, and it's important to be gentle with ourselves during this process. Embracing silence can be beneficial here as well, as it allows us to revisit our feelings, reaffirm our commitment to forgiveness, and renew our understanding of the situation. Forgiveness is also a gift we give to ourselves. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the emotional burden of holding on to past grievances. This liberation is essential for our mental and emotional well-being. When we forgive, we open ourselves to new possibilities, allowing healing to occur within us. We create space for joy, love, and connection, enriching our lives and enhancing our relationships. In this sense, forgiveness is an act of self-love, prioritizing our happiness and peace over past hurts. Furthermore, embracing silence and forgiveness can improve our relationships with others. When we practice forgiveness, we model healthy emotional processing for those around us. Our willingness to let go of grudges and approach conflicts with compassion can inspire others to do the same. This ripple effect can transform our interactions, fostering a culture of understanding and empathy. Moreover, by creating a space for open dialogue and forgiveness, we can mend broken relationships and cultivate deeper connections. In conclusion, embracing silence and forgiveness is a transformative practice that leads to healing and growth. Silence offers us the opportunity to reflect, recharge, and connect with our inner selves, while forgiveness frees us from the burdens of resentment and anger. By cultivating these practices, we nurture our emotional and spiritual well-being, allowing us to navigate life with grace and compassion. The journey may not always be easy, but the rewards of inner peace, clarity, and deeper connections are immeasurable. As we embrace silence and forgiveness, we open ourselves to a life filled with love, understanding, and profound transformation. Walking away for self-love is one of the most empowering decisions you can make in your life. It is an act of reclaiming your power, prioritizing your well-being, and recognizing that you deserve to be in environments that nourish and uplift you. In a world where external pressures often dictate our choices, learning to walk away from situations, relationships, or habits that do not serve us is a profound expression of self-respect and self-worth. Self-love begins with understanding your own needs and values. It requires a deep connection with yourself, acknowledging your feelings, desires, and boundaries. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, rather, it is an acknowledgement that you are worthy of more than what you currently have. It is essential to recognize when something is draining your energy or making you feel less than your best. This recognition can arise from various circumstances such as toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, or negative thought patterns. When you find yourself in these situations, the first step towards self-love is to evaluate whether they contribute positively to your life or detract from your happiness. One of the most significant challenges people face when considering walking away is the fear of the unknown. Change can be daunting, and the comfort of familiarity often keeps us anchored in situations that no longer serve us. However, it is vital to remember that growth often lies on the other side of discomfort. Embracing the unknown can lead to new opportunities, experiences, and relationships that align with your authentic self. Walking away may require courage, but it is an essential part of your journey towards self-love and personal development. Another common barrier to walking away is the fear of judgment from others. We often worry about how our decisions will be perceived by friends, family, or colleagues. However, prioritizing your well-being should never be contingent upon others' opinions. The reality is that no one knows your life better than you do. When you choose to walk away, you take a stand for yourself and your happiness, regardless of how others might react. True self-love involves tuning into your own inner voice and trusting your instincts rather than seeking validation from outside sources. Walking away can also be a powerful statement of self-worth. When you recognize that a situation is no longer serving you, and you choose to leave it behind, you send a clear message to yourself, I am worthy of better. This affirmation reinforces your self-esteem and empowers you to seek out environments and relationships that resonate with your values and aspirations. It is a declaration that you will no longer tolerate anything that undermines your happiness or diminishes your sense of self. Each time you walk away from something that does not align with your true self, you build resilience and strengthen your commitment to self-love. The process of walking away may involve grieving. When you let go of a relationship or situation that once held significance, it is natural to experience a sense of loss. Allow yourself to feel these emotions fully. Acknowledge the memories, the good times, and the lessons learned. Grieving is a vital part of the healing process, and it is essential to give yourself the space and time to heal. By embracing your feelings, you create an opportunity for personal growth and understanding. This emotional processing ultimately prepares you for the new beginnings that await you. In addition to grieving, It is essential to create a support system that encourages your journey towards self-love. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you. These supportive relationships will provide you with the encouragement and strength you need as you navigate the complexities of walking away. Sharing your thoughts and feelings with trusted friends or family members can help you gain perspective and reinforce your commitment to prioritizing your well-being. These connections remind you that you are not alone on this journey and that you have a network of support as you embrace change. Walking away also involves replacing old habits with new ones that promote self-love and self-care. It is an opportunity to reflect on what brings you joy and fulfillment. Consider engaging in activities that nourish your soul, whether it's pursuing a new hobby, practicing mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature. Rebuilding your life after walking away can be a beautiful journey of self-discovery. By filling your days with positivity and passion, you reinforce the idea that you deserve to be happy and fulfilled. Moreover, walking away for self-love encourages self-reflection. It provides the opportunity to assess what you truly want in life. Ask yourself what brings you joy, what values you hold dear, and what kind of relationships you want to cultivate. This self-exploration allows you to align your life with your authentic self, creating a roadmap for your future that is rooted in love and acceptance. By clarifying your desires and intentions, you empower yourself to make choices that resonate with your true essence. It is also important to practice self-compassion as you navigate this journey. There may be moments of doubt or fear, and that's perfectly normal. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding during this process. Recognize that walking away is a courageous decision, and it is okay to feel vulnerable. Embrace the journey of self-love with an open heart, knowing that each step you take is a reflection of your commitment to yourself. In conclusion, walking away for self-love is an empowering act that leads to healing and growth. It requires understanding your needs, prioritizing your well-being, and recognizing your self-worth. Embracing the unknown, releasing the fear of judgment, and allowing yourself to grieve are all essential parts of this journey. By surrounding yourself with supportive individuals and engaging in self-reflection, you create a nurturing environment that fosters self-love. As you walk away from what no longer serves you, you open yourself to new opportunities and experiences that align with your true self. Ultimately, the journey towards self-love is a lifelong process, and each step you take strengthens your commitment to living a life filled with joy, authenticity, and fulfillment.